this girl discovers something strange. A red thread suddenly appears above her head, but she can't seem to touch it. Just then, her uncle comes home from work. The terrified girl immediately runs to her room. Her uncle is baffled, not understanding what's going on. He has no idea what happened. To understand the secret of the red thread, the girl immediately goes outside. The clever girl quickly figures it all out. The number of red threads represents the number of intimate relationships a person has had. If two people's red threads are connected, it means they share a deep connection. Sona is momentarily stunned. She can't believe these glasses she found by chance have such a magical function. However, she isn't the only one who knows the secret. Originally, only Yun-Hup could see the red threads. As a child, she didn't know what the red threads symbolized. She just found them quite interesting. So, Yun-Hup drew the red threads she saw. But unexpectedly, when her mother saw the drawing, she broke down, because her father's red thread was connected to another woman's. Because of that, her mother did something irreversible to her father. From then on, her mother left Yun-Hup and disappeared without a trace. Growing up, Yun-Hup finally understood the secret of the red threads. But she felt that what she saw were the dark corners of people's hearts. So, in despair, she climbed over the railing and threw herself from the high building. But luckily, her life was not in danger. After that, Yun-Hup tried to end her pain again. But ultimately, she failed. It seemed fate wanted her to keep living. Yun-Hup decided to stop thinking about foolish things for the time being. She had to at least find out how these red threads were created and who else besides her could see them. From then on, Yun-Hup started living alone. She covered her windows with cardboard to avoid seeing the red threads on people's heads. But every morning, she still had to peek at the outside world. Detective Han across the hall has dozens of red threads. His niece, Sona, only has one. That also showed she had her own secrets. Today, a new neighbor moved in across the hall. She also had 9 red threads on her head. Seeing the girl greet her, Yun-Hup quickly closed the window. She didn't want to befriend anyone. Later, Yun-Hup wore sunglasses to watch TV, because the red threads were visible even on the TV characters. Just then, the doorbell suddenly rang. Yun-Hup looked through the peephole. It was the girl from across the hall. She came to give her some fruit. But Yun-Hup never opens the door for strangers. This girl seemed to be a cheerful person. She sat on the stairs and started talking to herself. But after half an hour of talking, the door still didn't open. Helpless, the girl had to leave the fruit and go. Unexpectedly, Yun-Hup's fate would also change because of her. Not long after, Yun-Hup tiptoed to open the door. She carefully brought the fruit inside. Inside were 3 peaches. After all, it would be a waste not to eat them. The next day, the girl brought fruit again. This time, it was a few big apples. Yun-Hup was eating an apple while watching TV. Suddenly, she discovered a secret. The news reported a serious incident near the apartment complex. And on the TV, there was a very strange man in a helmet. Yun-Hup knew that having hundreds of red threads was very rare. But a man with only one thread was also quite special. Moreover, he seemed to be lurking at the crime scene. That evening, Yun-Hup was horrified to see that man in the helmet. He was heading towards the neighbor girl's apartment. Yun-Hup immediately went back to get her phone. By then, the man in the helmet had reached the girl's door. Yun-Hup immediately called the police. But she had barely said 2 sentences when she realized the girl and the man knew each other. It turned out to be a misunderstanding. At that moment, the man's head now had 2 red threads. The next day, Detective Han came by. He wanted to ask if Yun-Hup had any leads from her police report. But he knocked for a long time and no one opened. Just then, a man with glasses came down from upstairs. It's no use. She won't come out. She's the famous recluse of this neighborhood. There's even someone who helps her take out the trash. You should just go about your business. Detective Han kept asking questions. Unexpectedly, Yun-Hup opened the door to a stranger for the first time. She explained she thought the girl across the hall was in danger. But in the end, she realized they were friends. That night, while Detective Han and his colleague were on duty, he glanced at a photo of someone related to the victim and felt he looked somewhat familiar. Recalling carefully, he realized it was the man with glasses from that day. Detective Han sensed something was wrong. He immediately rushed home. At the same time, Yun-Hup suddenly heard a noise downstairs. She saw that the person below was the man in the helmet with 1 red thread. Yun-Hup wanted to call the police, but she found her phone battery was dead, and the man's red thread was connected to the girl across the hall. Yun-Hup had a bad feeling, so she grabbed something for self-defense, intending to help the girl. But after opening the door, she hesitated, because she hadn't left her house in years. After a moment of hesitation, Yun-Hup still took a step outside. After all, I accepted her kindness, but as Yun-Hup tremblingly walked downstairs, she suddenly felt dizzy. The world started spinning, and she fell to the ground. Meanwhile, the girl, thinking it was her friend, opened the door for him without a second thought. But when the man took off his helmet, she saw it was an acquaintance she didn't want to see, and he was also the man with glasses from earlier that day. But he could also see the red threads on people's heads. Right after, the man with glasses intended to harm the girl. Luckily, Yun-Hup managed to speak up and stop him. The man with glasses was stunned. Then he slowly approached Yun-Hup and snatched the self-defense object from her hand. Giving you a chance. Attack me, don't you dare? Rendering Yun-Hup unable to interfere anymore. The man with glasses turned back to the girl. Unexpectedly, the girl suddenly attacked him. While he was looking for his glasses, the girl rushed over to Yun-Hup, hoping to help her wake up. At this moment, the man found his glasses. He started to threaten the girl again. Let go. Just then, Detective Han finally arrived. He found the glasses at the entrance. He immediately rushed upstairs. Seeing Yun-Hup's door was open, Detective Han slowly stepped inside. Seeing the red threads drawn on the wall, he was baffled, wondering what Yun-Hup was up to. Just then, Detective Han heard a noise from across the hall, so he immediately tore the cardboard off the window. Just as that happened, Yun-Hup finally came to. She picked up the sharp object and slowly moved across the floor, preparing to help the girl in danger. Seeing this, Detective Han drew his weapon. Yun-Hup stabbed the man with glasses in the leg, but he endured the pain and pulled the sharp object out. In the critical moment, the thread is disappearing. It was then that Yun-Hup realized the man with glasses could also see the red threads. Recalling his recent actions, Yun-Hup guessed it must be because of those glasses. Later, when Detective Han was talking to Yun-Hup, So-Na happened to come back from outside. Why are you wearing sunglasses in the middle of the night? It turns out they not only knew each other but were also old classmates. Through today's incident, Yun-Hup discovered that being able to see the red threads wasn't necessarily a bad thing. At least she could help people at critical moments. So she slowly took off her sunglasses. Just then, Yun-Hup received a mysterious message. It said, "I can also see the world you see. Come enroll at Arc High School." So-Na was originally an ordinary high school student. Anyone who watches K-dramas probably knows that wherever there's a school, there's usually school conflict. So-Na was picked on by her classmates almost every day. This classmate was very mean. She targeted only So-Na every day and made unreasonable demands of her. "Hey, I heard your uncle's a cop?" So-Na had always lived with her uncle. But her uncle was a very busy detective. Detective Han was always busy with work. He had absolutely no time to pay attention to So-Na, even when he found out his niece was having trouble at school. He only showed superficial concern. That day, Ha-young secretly took So-Na's private letter. She read it in front of the whole class. This made So-Na extremely embarrassed. She immediately tried to snatch the letter back but was violently pushed away by Ha-young. Luckily, the homeroom teacher appeared just in time. The homeroom teacher looked very angry. She directly tore up the letter and gave the students in the class a stern look. In the end, So-Na was called to the office for a talk. The homeroom teacher said she really wanted to help her, but because So-Na also fought back. Not long after, the other students had all gone home. So-Na was about to get her bag and leave when a pair of glasses suddenly appeared in her locker. At first, she didn't pay much attention to them. It wasn't until she got home that she noticed something unusual. After putting on the glasses, a red thread appeared above her head. Moreover, she could see it but couldn't touch it. While she was still wondering, her uncle came home from work. Scared, So-Na quickly ran to her room, leaving her uncle baffled, while So-Na rushed outside. Right after, she went out into the street and quickly found the answer she was looking for. The number of red threads represents the number of intimate relationships one has had. Two people with connected threads means they have a very special bond. After learning this secret, So-Na couldn't help but marvel. People's relationships are truly so complicated. The next day on her way to school, seeing her uncle, So-Na looked at him with different eyes. Since learning the secret of the red threads, So-Na walked with much more confidence. She walked around observing her schoolmates. The female students usually had more red threads than the male students. When So-Na saw her homeroom teacher, she was shocked. There wasn't a single red thread on her head. Right after, So-Na saw the girls who usually picked on her. It's hard to believe they're high school students. Then she noticed one of Ha-young's red threads was connected to somewhere else in the school. So-Na was very curious about which student Ha-young was connected to. So she followed the red thread to find out, and it led straight to the teacher's office. So-Na was stunned when she saw the man. It was the literature teacher. Unbelievable. He had this kind of relationship with Ha-young. After class started, the homeroom teacher introduced a new student. It was Yun-Hup, So-Na's old friend. She didn't need glasses to see the red threads on people's heads. It turns out So-Na and she were middle school classmates. After school, Ha-young approached So-Na as usual. But this time, she was different. So-Na knew how to fight back. Ha-young, of course, didn't know that So-Na knew her secret with Mr. Park. Just as Ha-young was continuing to bother So-Na, someone from behind suddenly spoke up and stopped her. She turned around and saw it was the newcomer, Yun-Hup. Ha-young decided to pick on this new student, so she pulled Yun-Hup to the edge of the rooftop. But Ha-young couldn't have guessed that Yun-Hup wasn't as easily intimidated as So-Na. "What, you want to do something foolish? Oh my god, let me go, pull me back up, promise me you won't bother us anymore." "Fine, let go." Ha-young was frightened by this reckless act. She didn't understand how someone could be so fearless. Little did she know, Yun-Hup had been through even scarier things. That evening after school, So-Na followed Ha-young. She finally discovered that she did indeed go to find Mr. Park. And they entered a nearby building together. While Mr. Park was in the restroom, Ha-young received a text from So-Na. It was about her secret with Mr. Park. Unexpectedly, Ha-young wasn't panicked at all. Right after, she replied defiantly. So-Na was taken aback. Ha-young replied that she was still a minor. So-Na was momentarily very disappointed, but she quickly thought of a good idea. The next day, Mr. Park received a text. It was still the photo of him with Ha-young, and it demanded he prepare 20 million won to keep it quiet. Mr. Park panicked after seeing it. He secretly found Ha-young, only to find out it was So-Na's doing. Then, another teacher also received the photo. It seems this school is not so simple. Since gaining this special ability, So-Na has become much more confident. She even got a boyfriend. Seeing this, Yun-Hup had a bad feeling. Later, she found So-Na in the restroom. Yun-Hup said that these glasses are very dangerous. A serious incident happened because of them before. "What nonsense are you talking about? The red threads, you can also see them? In that case, how many threads are on my head?" 1. Choi Da-hai has 5. Kim Ha-young has 2. One of which connects to Mr. Park. Choi Yi-sul has more than 10. The PE teacher and the math teacher have even more. Although she was shocked, So-Na had just gotten a taste of power. How could she give up this amazing ability? But just as the two of them left, Ha-young came out of a stall. She had overheard their entire conversation. While So-Na and her boyfriend were taking pictures, Ha-young secretly stole her glasses. The moment she put on the glasses, Ha-young discovered the magical sight. But before she could get used to it, So-Na suddenly realized her glasses were gone. She went back to look but couldn't find them. So she immediately called Yun-Hup, because she was the only one who knew the secret of the glasses. "Where are you? I'm heading to school first. We'll talk later." After hanging up, So-Na ran to the school. She went to find Mr. Park to talk about the money. A few minutes earlier, So-Na was with her boyfriend when Mr. Park texted her, saying that he had the 20 million ready. But when she got to the school rooftop, he had changed his attitude. Mr. Park started to appeal to her emotions. "I have a young child. My wife is about to have our second baby. If I lose my job, what will my family do? My salary isn't that much. How can I come up with 20 million right away? I knew you were being picked on by your friends, and yet I pretended not to know. Actually, So-na was also a victim. After all, she was bullied every day and no one cared. Even the homeroom teacher couldn't help much. While the two were talking, Mr. Park suddenly received a text message. Immediately, his expression changed, because Mr. Park's wife had found out. He thought So-na had leaked the information. After all, she was the only one who knew. Sensing something was wrong, Yun-hup tried to run to the school, but in the end, she was one step too late.